Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And guys, I have a question today. That question is, if the XRP price hit $10 within the next couple of months, would you sell your XRP? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section down below. I am very interested to see. Now, Rob Art just said this over on his Twitter. Why am I so stubborn with $7 to $13 XRP? Because the same strategy worked with BNB, Ethereum Classic, VET, REN, Litecoin, Ethereum, and others. I was stubborn while friends doubted new highs. Friends doubted 500 per BNB at $5. So why would I change my approach? Selling XRP at $2 is like selling Bitcoin at 10,000. And so even though I think this middle part is a little bit not necessary, his point is very correct, which is people don't really know what is possible until it happens. With XRP specifically, guys, I keep telling people, $20 per XRP is not that crazy. It's not that hard. And in my own personal opinion, in my own timeline that I've made for myself, it'll happen. Now, when on my timeline, that's the only thing I don't really know. But the price itself, $20, I personally think is going to happen so certainly. Then again, I've stated before to you guys, if Ripple settles with the SEC in a very bullish market like right now, I think $12 per XRP is easily achievable within this run still. But of course, it depends on when the run ends. Some people say, Dusty, I think XRP can hit $40 this run. And I tell them, well, when do you think the run is going to end? And where is the money going to come from? Who's going to appreciate it? What companies will have invested in it? Because the lawsuit on its own, it can't, as I think, right? Can't do it all at once. Just the lawsuit on its own is a very bullish thing, right? But there will always be doubts. And remember, guys, the law will be made the day that the judge makes a decision. But there's a couple of different ways in which Ripple could win. And the SEC is most likely going to try and kind of going through the rebuttal. I don't know the exact name for it anymore. Basically, the appeal to get the judge to kind of think about it differently once more. And in my interview with Jeremy Hogan, what we concluded was that there's a very good chance that the SEC is going to do that if Ripple wins one of their affirmative defenses, specifically the fair notice one. So from that perspective, there'll most likely be ups and downs. The moment they get a conclusion, boom, price surge. And I am really already preparing here. As you guys know, I've left a little bit of a tutorial over on my Patreon, but more importantly, I've let you guys with all the information necessary. What I'm basically doing is I have a system set up where if Ripple settles with the SEC or if the judge makes a conclusion and the price starts to spike, that I pick up more crypto to make sure that I am going long with some heavy leverage at the time that it happens, which I'm doing over on Bybit. That's the exchange that I use. I think I've left you guys all the information that you need, though, right? Right now, with me just saying this, you already can hypothetically know if you know how to trade. It's something which I've just set up for myself and a couple of others right now because I think it's just the smartest thing to do. What that basically means, though, is that I personally think, not everybody, but a lot of people can, if XRP goes up in the really big surge that we expect it to do so once we get a settlement, which, again, in my own belief, it will be like, XRP goes to $2 within a couple of hours, it's just going to surge to, let's say, $10, $12. If it starts to go to $2 and I buy in like crazy, because, again, my system has set that up, and I buy in with quite a lot of money with some heavy leverage, I personally think that can become a very, very, very profitable trade if we're early enough. Yeah, I'm letting it stray a little bit. I just wanted to quickly say, guys, I think that people right now that are hesitant of $10 per XRP or more, I don't think they see the full picture. And we're not even talking about utility just quite yet. That's the most fun part. There's a utility system that's behind it, which has even more crazy stuff attached to it. Now, Steven said on Twitter, ETH 2.0 was planned since 2014. Therefore, Ethereum, its proof of work, its fees never were anything but an investment and funding mechanism to build the final blockchain, Ethereum 2.0. And like NFTP at the bottom there says, the coin cacher, they never knew, or they knew it would never work. Point being, Ethereum has been built with the purpose of being upgraded. What do we mean with that? Well, it was built, but they instantly knew that what they made wasn't going to make it long term, but to change it up, it would take time, and they need to kind of think of a newer, better system. So any part of that system that they built initially, for example, the proof of work, for example, the fact they knew it was going to work, any part of all of that leads us to believe that they're, from that point on forward, basically since they had the ICO, going to always change the network with money received from various activities, like, for example, proof of work. So from that perspective, you might actually argue and say that Ethereum right now, as it currently stands, is not finished, because if they have to go to a version 2.0, as anybody knows, if you have to go to a version 2.0, either one was not great enough and you want to change things, you want to upgrade it, or you're just going to do something completely else, a new game, for example, which is just something else, right? But a part 2 of something is because you want to continue with something and it wasn't fully done, so to speak, right? That's, again, how I receive a 2.0 of something. If it were to be, be Ethereum, that's already something. I'm calling it like Ethereum's just a completely different thing, completely different entity. Okay, but Ethereum 2.0, literally trying to make it sound as if it's the better version of the one they had before. So literally an upgrade, literally a change, because the first thing wasn't good enough. Or at least they could make something better, which in any way, shape, or form is still an upgrade and still, you guys get it, right? You guys get it completely. Now, Jeremy Ogan also had something to say about that specific situation. And he's actually been letting go a lot of statements about it over the last couple of days. But one thing which he just kind of quotes here is, interested in the Ripple v SEC case. I have subtly renamed it. That's how I always call it. I always say Ripple v SEC case everywhere. Do you guys say any differently? Look at any of my videos. I always say Ripple v SEC lawsuit or case. What do people say then? I wonder, how do you guys otherwise call it out? I always say Ripple v SEC. Whatever. Then the below is a must read. John has put together the most amazing summary of what we have learned about this lawsuit and the connections between those involved. And it basically quotes here, the Ethereum free pass, fair notice, and fight ahead. Which is definitely quite peculiar, guys. If you start thinking about it, it's a really, really strange situation the way it's going right now. With the fact that Ethereum got their free pass, the fact that fair notice is something which is really debated on to the core right now. And even though this article is pretty long, so I can't read it right now, if you guys say, Dusty, go over it, we might actually go over it in a separate video once as well, because it's just so important. For the people that like it though, right? It's just so vague the way that Ethereum is getting this special treatment. And for any XP holder out here, it just feels like there's something wrong with the system. And I can't know for certain if there is. But the way it's looking right now, there is. let's say it like this. We can't conclude what is wrong, but we know that some ain't right. That's the best way to put it. Now, Bitcoin could hit 37,000, but Trader says Bitcoin price top will be a number you can't comprehend. We talked about this briefly earlier today, right? But let me reiterate and say, guys, you can't really think for XRP, Bitcoin, or any crypto for that matter, what the price is eventually going to get to. Really. Trust me when I say that nobody back in 2016, for example, thought that Bitcoin was going to go to 65,000 bucks within a couple of years. There were some people who were saying, oh, it's going to hit. Yeah, but really, if Bitcoin has hit, for example, $1,000 is the highest it's done, you don't really think, oh, no, it's going to do times 65, it's going to do times 100. No, you don't really think so. Same thing for Ethereum. I remember that I declined somebody who wanted to pay me. No, let's see it like this. I don't remember the exact situation. Okay, let me say it like this. I got Ethereum gifted to me or sent to me, whatever, at 600 bucks. But then later they wanted to send me more Ethereum, but then it was $1,000. So I was like, you know what? I'll just take the tether and I'll buy Ethereum once it goes down below. Not believing really, because again, we just had 150 bucks per ETH. I was already amazed that it went to 600, and then all of a sudden it went to 1,000, really close to all-time high. I was like, holy smokes, that's so expensive for ETH. Have you guys checked it out? And I was also making videos about it at the time. And then it just surged past, went to 4.5K, and I just couldn't believe it, man. I remember when people were making these $20,000 per ETH videos when it was at like a couple $100. I was always like, meh. And then all of a sudden it went to a couple thousand. I'm like, $20,000 per ETH is not that strange, actually. You know, it's just times 4, times 5 from where we are at right now. This is the fun part about XRP too. If XRP were to actually get to its all-time high again, all of a sudden, 20 bucks doesn't seem that far away. And the fun fact about all-time high is that even Bitcoin right now is at 3 times its all-time high, which XRP would be at, for example, about 10 bucks right now, which then would mean that Bitcoin needed to go to 120,000 in the same sense that XRP would have to go to 20 bucks. Something to think about. Then Ethereum price gets back to 3K. We talked about it before, right? Ethereum is doing pretty damn good. Then again, they're also saying that Ethereum is not so unique, and they should be valued at $1,500, says a JP Morgan strategist, citing strong competition from Cardano and Solana. The fun fact is, people are excited about Ethereum because, well, it's the main thing, and it has been and it's going to stay that way. But people are definitely picking up all these NFT DeFi competitors like Solana, Cardano, you can just name them, right? Polkadot, anything that's a platformer, Avax, Cosmos. We can really go on for a little bit like this. What can I say about that? It's just, it shouldn't be valued any lower. It shouldn't be valued any higher. The market decides, obviously. And as it currently stands, people are bullish on kind of all of these, basically. It's not a one-to-one type of thing. And I keep telling people, if you think that one is going to do really, really much better over the other, all right, you go buy it then. But since I know for a fact that nobody can know which one is going to do good because they all basically have the same thing, with some having a small advantage over others, but nobody really caring about that because of other factors, you can't know. So my personal thing is just to diversify amongst them. But yeah, anybody guess can have their own opinion on the matter. I just think that's the smartest thing to do for my own. Stellar Polygon Bridge goes live to expand XLM usage in DeFi. News Crypto is going to unveil a mechanism to allow wrapped XLM tokens to get integrated into DeFis on Polygon. That's a pretty big deal, guys. That sounds pretty damn strong. And I am a really big believer of Polkadot, says James Woe, CEO of the Digital Finance Group. Just to get another Polkadot bull. Point being, guys, Polkadot, albeit freaking Cardano, albeit freaking Solana, all of these kind of are in the same line, where they're DeFi destroyers, NFT providers, platformers is the way I like to call them all the time. They all have their own potential. They all have their own separate thing, which makes them amazing. And anybody can say, oh, I'm so bullish on that one. They're all a little bit the same. They all have their own quirks, all have their own speed, all have some minor differences. But ultimately, people don't really prefer that much in aggregate form, the one over the other. There's always a big community for either one of them, and that's because they all kind of solve the same problem, even though it's with some different ways to get there, basically. But all right, guys, that was it for today's video. Hopefully, you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure that you press that like button. It helps the video out a ton, and if you want more of these updates of the crypto market, make sure you subscribe to the channel.